All right, me and Worm went and picked up. There it is. We have got a welder in here. He's off work for a few days, and so am I. And this car ain't never gonna see rain anyway, other than getting washed. It's about the only water it's gonna see. So we are getting ready. The starting stages of getting that pan. This thing's fixing to be back one piece again, other than looking like Flintstone. But got that primed. Like I said, it's probably not the correct primer to use, but it's going to work, and it's for sure going to slow down the rust. That's the main thing. And then after it gets seam sealer on it, we probably won't have to worry about that for a long time. I know y'all probably looking at saying, why are you showing me a picture here of a rusted piece of crap, metal if you will. But right there, that piece looked like, well, not as bad, but what we've done is we have cut the lip out right here on that side, and up on the front of the I'll show you on this one right here. Of course it's rotten. This piece, that piece right there where the firewall comes down and meets the floor pan, wasn't nowhere near as bad as that one, but it was, had a little bit of cancer in it. So we cut that piece right there, cut that piece off of that one, and we have formed it. Had to take a hammer to it on a, well, put it on a table vise, straightened it out, and cut out what we needed out of that piece of the pan. And now we have just made the bottom part of the firewall 100% whole again. So any more of any of that old junky metal, if it's savable, you save what you can, and see, that's going to be good again right there. And yes, that piece up there is still a part of the old pan that we got to cut out. Alright, we have got these corners. He discovered a way to knock them corners out, which I was getting a little concerned with. Of course, I like to jump to conclusions, but there's the new piece, and then we ran out of wire. We got them patched and got all them cuts back there that I decided to rip through the floor. We got them patched up. That corner right there is out. And yeah, I know it looks very, looks a little ugly right now, but that will be fixed after we get some wire, because I know these pans are supposed to be welded, spot welded up in the, from the firewall to the pan, but we're going to use what we have and make it a little bit better than, I think it'll be a little better than what the factory was. Yeah, that still needs some work too. I found another spot. It's low right there. I started doing some browsing, and we found, what did I say we done, 1.5 to 3 inches?
1.5 to 2, I think.
Yeah. So I have went through, and every 2 inches I'm going to go around the outside and get it, at least get this part where it's stationary after we get it set back in the car, and then we're going to have to do a little bit of measuring for the cross member on the transmission, and then the seat, or the seat mounts, because this pan is for a bucket seat car, or it has the provisions for a bucket seat, but of course I'm putting a it's going to get a bucket seat in it, or bench seat with a fold down armrest. And this is, there's a hole there and that one there, which does not meet, because right here somewhere in this area is where the provision is for the, where the seat belt mount is, because it is right there. and the pan has got it sitting way over here. So we're gonna have to drill that out and probably, I think we decided we're gonna go through there and weld that, or just sew the hole up. May not need to, but I'm gonna feel better about it. So right now the only thing that we're out is, well, other than borrowing that, I'm out the pan. And how many hours we got in this right now? 20, 25? Maybe 20 or 25 hours. So we've got liquid courage over there in the Frigidaire, and some time and a bunch of laughs. So we're gonna have to go to tomorrow and get, like I said, I run out of wire in the welder, so we got to get some more wire, and we're gonna keep trucking along. And this, of course, is day number 2. Both of my drills decided to give out, so we had to go find a new one this morning, and that was a fiasco. But there's the patch. He is fixing to sew that one up. And that side there, we've had it in here 2 or 3 times and had to do a little bit of adjusting, but it looks, as of now, it looks good. Everything's laying down pretty well even. And I got to break the new drill in. We run around it and filled this sucker full of holes. And yeah, you like my artwork? But I went around just, they're pretty much every 2 inches, and well, those ain't. Those are a little bit, some of them narrower, some of them wider, but it won't be long now. It's gonna be one piece again. Alright, it's getting a little better. We have came over and we started running the spot wells down here. We're gonna have to do a little bit of some finesse up in here, just because I mean, these are not perfect drop ins. You got to do work a little magic with them. But it's also very beneficial to bounce around, because we started drawing up back here on the back just because we went pretty quick, which we did started right here and then started working out we didn't just start in a line and work down. But that back right there started to draw up just a little. And the seat belt, if you're doing this, you can use you can see I stacked some washers up, but those seat belt bolts are pretty good guide points to help make things a little bit more stationary, so you're not having to move stuff around and after you get everything locked in where you need it, because we do have some clamps on the outside out there on the firewall. We've got these right here. Those are laying down and fixing to bounce around, and gonna do a couple there and do a couple over there, and then just start working our way around until we get to the outside. And then once we get outside, that's gonna probably have to go back and forth on left or right, and you can see some of the pilot holes we got there. But this sucker's fixing to be one piece again. Alright, we finally have gas now. No, not that kind. That kind. And got plenty of wire. So, and again, doing all this stuff on a budget, a lot of times you got to use the resources you have. And 2 2x4s right there. Yep, that's helping out a lot. Look like it's we took that 2x4 and our body weight and put it on the inside here of that lip, and we'll do some stitching here. And that right there where the pan meets is, it does look a tad low, but come back on this side here, we are flushed all the way around. We got a little bit, we're gonna put a patch back in this. I don't like the way it looks. He didn't either. This right here is good. And that side right over there still looks good. We gotta put a patch on that right there. We gotta patch that. And one other thing that's, of course I already knew this, and a lot of y'all probably know this, metal will bend before it'll stretch. So if you're doing one of these pans and you kind of run into the issue that we have, we didn't, since that right there on the tunnel had to come up, we didn't think it was a good idea to go ahead and sew in the frame rails and the torsion support, because at that point we would have had to have stretched all that. And like I was saying, you sew this outside right here up, the metal will bend to get down to those. So if you're doing if you put one of these pans in here, it's a good thing to remember is metal bends before it stretches. So just a little piece of advice there. Should I tell him what I done? So I was trying to, he found he found a little bit of a rotten spot, a little bit lower to the pan rail, and I decided to crawl under the car with a screwdriver to start cleaning some of the factory undercoating off, and finished everything else up there off with the screwdriver. So now we don't have a choice but to put a patch panel in there. So, but knock on wood, there she lays. So, word to the wise, don't do stupid stuff. Alright, it is, well, it's completely installed. We do have I've got a little bit of the next video on this one. I have to, it'll be more or less a prep and seam seal video. So check back in for that one if you're interested. But I've got to do quite a bit of cleaning and prepping for that. So we had to do, I mean, these things, of course, everybody that does these, y'all know that these are, like I think I said earlier, these are not drop in and just set them down, weld them, and you're good to go. I mean, we had to do a little bit of finesse in some spots, but as of now, the Duster is back in one piece. So y'all, if y'all want to keep following along with this one and all the other stuff, that's a project too. Like and subscribe to the channel, and for my subscribers that I have recently gained, because I did gain quite a few, thank y'all. The ones that already are, thank y'all also. And we will see y'all in the next one.